Hey guys and gals and my fellow VEDS-ies, welcome back to the last day, day 30 for VEDS 2023. And welcome back to part 2 of our two-part VEDS in review wrap-up. Yesterday, I talked about all of you lovely people, all of the videos that you've made, all of my favorite moments and all of my favorite videos from you guys, and responded to a couple of the comments that I didn't really have the time to respond to in the comment sections, but today is going to be the third R, reflecting. Reflecting on my year of VEDS, the highs and the lows, where I think I went wrong, where I think I went right, and I think let's just start overall with saying that, at least for my money and in my opinion, I think this is arguably the best year of VEDS I have ever had. I want to say within the last 2 to 3 years of doing this for I think I'm on year 7 at this point. I think I finally sort of got a rhythm, got a groove, figured out how I want to do things. The thumbnail game, I think, was really well done. The content itself, I think this year had some of the best videos I've ever made on the channel. And I know I've talked about some of these ad nauseum, but definitely highlights of this year of VEDS, at least for my channel, I feel like number one, it started off the year was the VEDS training video. That video, I was also very proud of myself because, again, of the short turnaround time and how closely I was able to mimic some of the transitions directly from that episode, where I'll put some of them side by side right now, where I feel like I really kind of nailed the looks of those. This year also saw the return of an old series for the channel, again, Pilot Obscurities. I just want to kind of clarify, I don't know if Pilot Obscurities is coming back. Everybody seems to like that Yo Gabba Gabba video, which I'm very happy with. That's also, I think, a highlight of the VEDS year for me. But I don't know if that's going to be nearly as common on the channel moving forward as something like the Let's Riff commercials is. Which, speaking of, let's talk about Let's Riff commercials. Now, I don't want to repeat myself too much as to why things are happening the way they are. If you want to know why they're becoming individual videos, go watch the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger episode that I put out this month. That sort of gives a more detailed explanation. But overall, I would say the commercial videos, the individual ones that I put out this month, are my favorite of the commercials videos that I've done. I don't know if it's because of being an on-camera personality now. It gives me the freedom to do different kinds of jokes. But to tell you the truth, I was a little worried going into this month with the Bill Cosby commercial riff, because I was worried how people would take it. I didn't want people to think that I was trying to make a light of anything. Bill Cosby is a fucking monster, and I really didn't want to have it come across like I was defending him in some way, shape, or form. But after hearing from some of you lovely people, you all thought that I handled it relatively delicately, and that I wasn't really doing that, so I'm glad that that actually worked out. But my favorite commercial video that I did this month has to probably be the head-on apply directly to the forehead video that I did. That one was such a spur of the moment. Like a lot of things this month, a lot of the most fun things, the things that stick out in my head as being the highlights of the month, a lot of them were spur of the moment ideas, which we'll get into the big spur of the moment idea a little bit later on. But that video, the head-on one, was exclusively born out of spur of the moment ideas. I wrote it in probably about an hour. Even the idea of the color swapping, that was something I was doing as I was sitting in this chair about to record. I came up with that idea as a bit, and I think all of those things combined just made for a really funny video. Another thing I did aplenty this month were fan dubs. And the fan dubs I did this month, I think, have been kind of hit and miss. One of the things people commented on was that they liked that I was branching out with the Shrek one in doing an accent, but I sort of realized as I was editing it that I can't do an accent to save my life. So if I could go back in time, I don't know. I don't know if I actually would have did it. So, that's probably a low point of the month, in my opinion, is I just don't think the Shrek one was very good. Which, I guess since I've already started talking about things that I didn't like that I did this month, let's talk about what I think are some of the things that I really don't like that I did this month. For starters, I'm very iffy, and I know I've mentioned this before. I'm very iffy on the serial Let's Try videos. I don't know what I'm doing in those. I don't know why I do them. They're weird. I don't know if they're entertaining. I try to make them funny, but I don't really know if at the end of the day they're worth doing. So barring like a cereal that comes out that's made of solid gold, you're probably not going to see another one of those again. Another thing that I did consistently this month that I'm going back and forth with myself on how I feel about it, was it ultimately the right decision, was, like I've done in previous years, I maintained a 9 a.m. upload time for videos, and you all would have to tell me, your experience with it. I don't know if that gets the videos buried in your sub boxes, so in next year I might shoot for like a lunchtime, something like maybe a 12 o'clock noon, or maybe even later in the sort of afternoon, the early evening. Again, well, I'm experimenting. Let me know your experience in the comments down below, if you thought it was a good time to release them, if you think I should have waited. Really, I think the only other thing that I could say as a critique is, obviously, I'm using the camera microphone because I rearranged my whole room halfway during VEDS, and now the cord for my microphone doesn't reach. So that's fun, but I've tried my best to sort of fix things in post. But last and surely not least, let's talk about the giant elephant in the room, which is VEDS storylines. Now, I would hardly call what I did this month a storyline, but for those who have been following VEDS for a while, know that one of the original VEDS-ies, Jesse from Coded Block Films, and, after him, Matt Banggeek 8408, notoriously had characters and storylines that they would put into their videos. And this month saw my attempt at trying to sort of bring that back with the introduction of Editing James, or EJ. And for those keeping track at home, while I am wearing this attire, this is strictly out of character. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of worried about doing that bit. Again, it was spur of the moment. When I went to go do the introduction to the Q&A, I actually didn't plan on having it be a character. I really didn't. I honestly don't even know what came over me. I just think literally the first take that I did was an evil laugh and was doing that thing. I don't know why I did that, and I'm not gonna lie. While I did enjoy editing it and putting it together, and it felt very freeing to kind of do more of a skit, I was very worried because I didn't know, one, if I was a good actor, or two, if people were actually still gonna like this style of thing. But you all are amazing, and you embraced EJ. Caleb even going so far as to introduce or bring back Final Cut Caleb. And I know it's too early to say, and I know I floated this among a couple of the VEDS-ies, but I think it would be kind of cool if in the future, in a future VEDS, we had a weekend or a day or week where our evil alternate personas would take over. And I know we floated around a couple of different ideas, and it would take a lot of coordination, but I think that would just be kind of a cool thing. Now, for those asking if I'm going to do more storyline-related content moving forward, probably. There's a very high probability, especially considering This month also kind of saw me begin to use the MacGuffin of my snake staff as kind of a magical entity that can do things. And while his Q&A plan to torture James Prime may have failed, he's definitely cooking up something that I'm going to get into in a second here for next year's VEDS. But for now, let's look to the future. And I've got an announcement, because I am already in the early planning stages for a very big project, a very massive undertaking that will be released September 1st, 2024. Now, I don't know how many of the fellow VEDS-ies watch this style of content, but something that has grown massive traction on this platform has been multi-hour retrospectives of TV shows or movies. I'm thinking of stuff like the Quinn Reviews, iCarly and Victoria Sam and Cat series. Another user whose name escapes me right now has done like Mighty Med and Wizards of Waverly Place. He also most recently covered The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. And after watching that video, an idea was formed in my brain to see, could I do something in that same mold? Which is why I, again, am in the pre-planning stages of a major project. And that project, I am announcing now, will be released on September 1st, 2024, and September 2nd, 2024. It's a 2-part retrospective, multi-hour retrospective, hopefully, ideally, entitled Part 1, The Rise of the Disney Channel Original Movie, and Part 2, The Fall of the Disney Channel Original Movie. This will be a multi-hour video where I will review and look at in depth every single Disney Channel original movie. Over 100 of them. Some of you may remember a couple of years ago, I did a review of Dadnapped. Dadnapped is a Disney Channel original movie. Now, there may be some exceptions, because some of the movies I'm going to talk about in that retrospective, as I am planning it right now, are not DCOMs themselves, they're more DCOMs adjacent. But yes, I am in the planning stages of doing that. Now, there is another one that I have been toying with doing. I don't know if this would happen this year. It depends on how the planning stages go for the DCOM 2-parter. But another thing I would like to try to do, I may try and shoot this for Christmas 2024 release date. I don't know if I should. Yeah, whatever. I'll announce this. If I am able to do that, the next thing that I would cover, and I would try to get it out by Christmas of that year, would be a very similar thing. 2 parts, the rise of the direct-to-DVD Disney movie and the fall of the direct-to-DVD Disney movie. That is something that I've also wanted to talk about for a while. That one that's a what if. That's, I'm putting it out there to see what you guys think about it. Again, it also fully depends on the DCOM one. If the DCOM one goes over smoothly and it's easy to sort of execute and get done. But, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this last sort of overall reflection, looking back at VEDS 2-parter, VEDS 2023 in review. I hope you all have enjoyed the content that I've put out this month, as I have enjoyed yours. It's always fun every time September rolls around to sort of get the band back together, and everybody, I think, just brings something unique to the table, and I can't say enough how lucky I feel to be in this community with all of you. I meant what I said in the VEDS training video, that this community is one of, if not the nicest community on the internet. And I hope that once September is over, that isn't the last time we communicate or we interact before next September, because I got nothing better to do, so I am down for literally anything. So that's it. VEDS is done. I don't know if I'm going to be making any other videos until next September. There may be commercials sometime around Christmas. Again, I'm not making that promise again. So, oh, this is hard. Well, I guess there's no sense in delaying the inevitable. But I do know one thing for sure. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. And in case I don't see you, guys, gals, and my fellow VEDS-ies, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.